Is up, YouTube? Back with the first mod to the Ram. Today is a great day. We're going to be taking out the stock halogen bulbs that come in the 13's projector LED, or projector lamps, I should say, and we'll be replacing them with some LEDs. I'm going to be trying out this awesome new brand, and I'm going to show you guys the difference compared to the halogen. And I mean, you already know halogen upgrades are great. And what I'm also loving about this is there's a built-in relay in these lights, so you don't even need to buy anything else. You just need to plug and play with these lights. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to get these lights installed. I'm going to show you how to get these lights installed, and we'll go from there. Let's check out these lights though. Here they are, guys, to compare. Bevensey? Bevenseys? You know, they're going to kill me for not saying it right, but these are the lights here, guys. A great product. These are the 9012 LED headlight kit. And just to compare, here's my 9012 LED, or I'm sorry, stock bulb. And, you know, it worked, but I mean, just yuck. You know, I just can't stand halogens. I just don't like them. And here is their LED bulb that they created. A sleek design, very small compared to the halogen bulb, just slightly longer, but you know, with this big base fan, you know, it's pretty inevitable, but fits right in. Perfect plug and play design. There is the LED setup there. If you can see, zoomed in to my eye, it's about 6 square LEDs. Let me see if I can focus in there for you, but I probably won't be able to. Yeah, I can't. It's 6 LEDs there, and here's the ballast built in. A little heavier, but you know, heavy duty, I should say. Here's your pin. You know, obviously you can flip if it's not lighting up. Always make sure you test. But yeah, I mean, they go right in. They're the same exact design, 9012s. And again, you can't beat the not having to have an extra ballast with this thing. I think that's just such an awesome feature. But I got my grill off here already. I'm going to show you step by step on how I took that off right now, guys. So you want to take your grill, all this off to get to your headlights? Oh, this is going to be fun. No, it really will though. It's not hard. Don't worry. I'm just messing with you. It looks like it's going to be a pain, but it's really not, guys. The first step is you're going to take your Pac-Man pin. No, I'm just kidding. This, for some reason, is snapped here, but you're going to take all your push pins out. So you got one here, 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 and here. These just pry up. You just pry up. I would recommend starting at an end and working your way over. That way, you know, you'll have more leverage as you go and go and go. I always start right here and just pull up and pop that off and move that out the way. And then the next step is going to be removing 4 screws. There's one right there on your grill. And we'll get to that right after you pop all those off. So now that you got your plastic piece off, you got your 4 exposed grill screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take those 4 screws off. They're all 10mm bolts, and you will then be able to pop this off. So looking down, I'll show you here. One of your major pins is that one right there. That one, when you actually unscrew these, you'll be able to pull this back, and you might even be able to use your finger and push down on it. The other 2 are in this area as well, but just grabbing on your grill, anywhere, getting your fingers in there, obviously being careful, you can pull and pop. They'll come right out. And just be careful while you're doing this. Obviously with cars, you know, there's a lot of popping on things, and it's super scary sounding, but the durability on these are strong. They will not break. Just make sure when you pull with force, and you pull straight out towards you. Pulling towards you. Not up, not left, not right, towards you. And it'll come right out, guys. And like I said again, you can possibly move that one down there with your finger when you're going to pull out, and you'll be able to get these ones on the side a lot easier. Just for reference, guys, when you take those screws out, here are the 2 screws, or the 4 screws that are 2 different styles. You got your plastic and your metal. So guys, now that you got your grill off and all that off, we're going to go to the headlight removal. What you're going to need in this process, again, is your 10mm socket. And you're going to take 2 bolts out. You're going to take this one and that one there. When you take those 2 out, there's going to be a little pull that or a tab you're going to pull in the back. I'll show you how to get to the tab. I'll pull the tabs, then I'll show you what the tab looks like so you can reference that, because it's very hard to get your camera angle in there. I'll show you on the camera, but I won't physically be able to show you me pulling it by hand, because it's in a weird spot, but it is accessible. You don't even need to turn your wheel or anything. I'll get you that, but let's go ahead and take these two 10mm bolts out. Okay guys, so now you got your two out. As you can see, they're two different lengths. The longer one goes here, obviously, and the shorter one goes there. This one took a while with the hand crank, socket wrench, you know. Obviously, if you have an automatic one or a drill, it'd be a lot easier, but just obviously always be careful. Headlights are very fragile things. On newer vehicles, it's not as easy, but you know, in older vehicles, or if your Ram just goes through a lot of weather changes and, you know, hot to cold, if you use this thing to drive a lot, plastic can become very brittle and break. So you do want to be very delicate when you're taking these things out. Also, when you're putting them back in. So never over crank them. Headlights are put in a certain way to a certain torque. You know, you may not match that torque, but it's okay as long as you get them snug and tight. Never, ever, ever over crank these, because the moment you break this, then you're in a world of hurt, because you'll never truly get that alignment properly back. But now that we got those two out, let me go ahead and show you what you got to do to get this little clip pulled down. So I'm over here in the wheel well, and right there, that little tab, you need to just pop that out and it will drop down this little door here. Once you drop that door down, I'll show you exactly what you need to pull out. All right, guys, so now you got that popped. You can open up your door here. I'm gonna take my camera, and right there, that little white stick, let me see if I can hold my phone, right there, that one up there, you want to, on that, pull it down, and pulling it down will then unlock the headlight. And once you unlock it, you can gently pull out the headlight. You might have to give it a slight tug, but that will release it. So like I said, it's hard. It's gonna be really hard for me to get my hand in there and hold this, but that tab there, pull that down, and you'll feel it when you get down, and you're really gonna have to do this by just, you know, your fingertip eyes, and feel around and find it. Might take a couple shots, and be very careful. This is sharp plastic. So just take your time, be gentle when you do these things, and you'll get that down. Once you get it down, I'll show you how we just pull it right out. So now that you got that going there, I do apologize, guys. I kept saying pull down. Actually, you want to push up on it. So push up on it, and it will then allow it to be released here. So it is released now. The thing is you do got to pull kind of tough. So I'm going to put my phone down, and I'll be right back. But just grab with one hand here, you know, your other hand here, and pull, and it'll pop and it'll come out. Also, you know, make sure these are unscrewed and, you know, everything's out of the way and they're free. If you got a lot of wiggle like this, you know you're in good shape, and you're just going to want to pull, and it'll come right out. You know how these cars are. Everything's a little tough to pull out, but it'll pull out, no brakes or anything. Make sure your tab is up. Nice. So now you got it out, and as you can see, with your tab up, it opens up that gap so you can pull your tab right through. Pulling it down, once we put it back in, we'll lock it back in place. When you go to reinstall your headlight, absolutely make sure this is up and locked in like that. You will feel it pop and push into this, and that will also align and lock in with this. Then once you screw it back down, obviously I'll get to that when we reinstall it, you'll come back over and pull that down to lock it in totally. But now that you got it out, guys, there it is. There's your headlight assembly. Up underneath is your wiring harness. You can have it right here and do all your work here. I'm gonna disconnect it so I can lay it down, but take a flathead into that tab there, pry back, and this whole harness should pop right off, and then you are completely free. Nice, guys. So now that you're all disconnected here, the next tool you're gonna need is your 8mm socket, wrench, drill, whatever, and you're gonna wanna take these bolts out here. There's 4 bolts holding on this cover piece, and just unscrew these bolts, and then you will get exposed to your low beam and high beam lights. Okay, so our cover is off, and as you can see in here, we have our high beam bulb. I'll be replacing those on another video, another day. Today, we'll just be doing our low beam, and right here, you just wanna turn it counterclockwise. Sorry, I couldn't get that in camera, but I turned it counterclockwise. Right there, there's our old bulb. We pop off our little connector here, push down, pull back, popped off. Our halogen bulb is now out, and we can now replace it with our LED bulb. And I'll show you just how simple that is. Here's our bulb and our ballast and our connector pin. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the bulb in there. I'm gonna line it up with my slotted tabs. It's gonna drop down in the slots, as you can see. Then you're gonna turn it, It's going to get tough, then it's going to get a little tougher, and it's going to lock. And now you know it's locked in. Now we take our pin here. So you see it has 2 connector points. That's because sometimes polarity can be reversed, and all you'll need to do is unplug it and spin and plug it back in. When it's reversed, you'll know you always test lights before you fully commit and put everything back together. But you'll know when you go to test and you get no light at all. You know, 90% of the time, polarity is going to be reversed. 10% you might have a broken light from, you know, shipping and things like that. But we're going to go with polarity would be reversed. So I'm going to take my side. It's got my plus and minus on it. And I'm going to take a lucky guess and hope that's the right side. So we're going to push it in. Just like so. Pushing it in. And it's very, very tough to do with one hand because it's very snug in there. So I'm going to put my phone down for a second. Okay, 1 second later, it's pushed in, clipped down. And now before we put everything back together, let's take our headlight assembly, put it back over here, kind of just set it in place and plug in our main clip there. And just, you know, hit your unlock button or go flick your lights on real quick to make sure that your headlights are working and are on, and you don't need to reverse the polarity, because trust me, it'd be a pain to get everything put back together and go for the final test, and hey, one of them doesn't work. So go ahead, let's test real quick. Okay guys, so now I'm clipped back in place. I'm going to take my keys out here and push my unlock button, and there we go, we have light. So we know that the light is working, polarity is correct, and now we can put on our cover back, tuck our ballast in there safely, put our cover back on, and put this thing back together. Before I put this thing completely back together, I want to point out one thing. You know, this is the 2021. LEDs are extremely relevant now. You can get runs ranging from 10 all the way up to $100+. These lights here, I've tested out so many lights, and the one thing I've noticed already from these lights, other than the astounding brightness compared to the halogens, which is obvious, the fan quality is so quiet. I'm just going to turn them on one more time. And granted, you know, I got my garage door open because I don't fit all the way in my garage here, and it's a little drippy and rainy outside. But I want you to just listen. And if you're wondering what you're listening for, it's the fan. You can't even hear it, guys. The cover is not even on this thing, and the fan is absolutely silent. And you may ask, is it spinning? It is spinning. I looked, and you know what? I'll even show you. Look at that. You don't even hear the thing until it's legit right in your face. And even then, you barely hear it, guys. So that is awesome on their part. Shout out to them for the extreme quality in that product. So let's go ahead, pull this thing back out, put our cover back on. So now that we got it all tested out and everything, let's just take our wiring and our box and let's just run it in there nice and safely. So that design fits great in there. There's no overlapping, there's no issues, there's no running into the fan blades or anything like that. And the design fits perfectly, guys. You can snug your cap right back on. Your fan is not getting interfered with or causing any damage. You can put your cover back on. You always want to have your cover on, guys. These covers do so much more than just, you know, close up the headlight. They protect the interior of the headlight from getting moisture and things like that. And trust me, if you ever seen fogged up headlights or had a car with fogged up headlights, you know it's no fun to have that. So always make sure you do put your cover back on. In some situations, you know, if you're not running these exact lights per se, you may need to cut or things like that. Make sure any cuts you do, you can seal back up. Or they do sell some beefier designed aftermarket headlamp covers for our truck to, you know, give way for those beefier style headlights. LED bulbs, I should say. But now I'm going to be screwing this back on, and we're going to do everything in reverse. Okay, guys, so you got everything put back on, your cover's back on. Give yourself just one more comfort check and test those headlights one more time. Make sure they're doing their thing and running like they should. That's great. They are. So now we're going to do everything in reverse. Remember, your short one, your long one. And once you get those screwed in, pull down your back tab, put your pin back in, and then we're going to reassemble the grill. So I'm going to let you guys get to that. Obviously, the same steps are for the other side as well, down to a T. There is no difference at all. Get your grill back on, get your top plastic cover back on, and then you will be all set. So I'm going to catch up. You guys are going to catch back up with me, I should say. And we'll go ahead and check these lights out at night here. It's a great, dark, cold winter's night in Indiana. So I'll be able to show you how bright these things are. And the best part is it's raining outside. So I love to do LED showcases in the rain because rainy roads are killers, guys. So this is going to be awesome. You guys are really going to get to see how bright these things are. So get this all back together and I'll catch you guys outside. Just look at that, guys. Look at the side-by-side comparison. I mean, do you even need any more? Like, the camera's giving these bulbs justice, to be honest with you, because to the eye, it's such a basic, dim bulb. It almost looks like the bulbs are going out. But the new LEDs, phew, blinding. But not blinding to other drivers, but blinding if you're staring directly into them. Halogens. You know, your standard light here. I can give you a little backdrop. I'll obviously give you more when we go outside. But just to see the two compared. The halogen bulb, not even. Whereas the LED is putting out an extremely cut bright line. Extremely cut. This one's faded, dim. The line that these projector bulbs create is amazing for other road drivers as well. But for you and, you know, your vision, these are great, great bulbs. So now that you see how that install was, let's go ahead, close it all back up, and then get to looking at it outside. I'm outside here. It's a little bit of rain. It's not super black out right now. A lot of light pollution in the skies, but just to showcase the lighting here, as you can see, just look how bright that is. I mean, you got to really take into perspective how far these lights pan out. I mean, I got vision all the way down past that fence. So the pan out is amazing. It's really the projector design on these headlights that really allow for all the light to get emitted safely to other people, you know, while other drivers are driving by you, because, you know, trucks sit high and it's just a lot of science into all this. But the lighting is amazing, guys. This is a blacktop in the rain. Also, take that into consideration. I don't know if you've ever driven with lights in the rain and just noticed that you just don't really have any visibility. I'm getting extreme visibility for rainy conditions. I absolutely love it. They look great. The new look looks fantastic compared to the halogen setup. As you can see right there. So I think in all the just the LED setup is the way to go no matter what you're doing. And it's just a bang for your buck. You know, lighting is so important. I can't stress it enough. Why not? This process is so easy, guys. I can't wait to get the high beam videos up for you guys, as well as the fog lights. I'm a fog light guy. I love to drive with both of them on. I love visibility. I love to see. So LED fog lights are a must, But let me real quick show you vision with lights on and lights off. So we're gonna turn off my lights, turn them back on. And again, take into consideration the blacktop, guys. The blacktop is so important in the rain, and you cannot see with lights. So I'm really happy with the light setup that I'm getting from this. Again, too, the ballast pre-installed. It doesn't get better than that, guys. You're saving your money not having to buy a ballast and, you know, running all these extra wires. Chrysler's really notorious for that. Ram, Dodge, Jeep, all of them, and other cars too. You know, new cars really don't like LEDs because they take no power at all. And I'm loving that they already added the LEDs to the headlights itself. Now when I get the high beams, I'll have a full LED headlight here, and it's gonna be amazing. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you guys. Please always be safe out there. Enjoy these lights, any lights you got. Hope the setup was easy and you got it done. And until the next one, guys, peace.